All right, welcome to.
Who's laughing?
I hear there's laughter. Welcome to Veritech, a podcast about three doofuses trying to figure out how to make a podcast. This is the first post-launch podcast. I am Blitz Bear, also known as Nate, along with.
I'm Sam. I'm Polar Bear, and I'm really excited for this first podcast out of the truck.
First podcast out of the truck.
Yeah, I'm also Sam. I'm also known as Panda Bear.
Yep.
No more
Awesome.
truck noise. Woohoo!
No more truck noise.
Well, I don't know. It might be a little unnatural without the truck noise. You might have to ride around with your audio recorder and like get some just to put underneath.
I know the truck noise was comforting. I liked it.
Yeah.
And
Really made it feel like everyone was on the road trip with us, just taking the journey. You know.
So, quick disclaimer. We actually recorded the first segment of the podcast pretty much all the way through before one of us realized that the recorder wasn't going. So
sorry, I'm slightly challenged.
if it sounds like if this sounds a little unnatural or rehearsed, it is.
First time we're
It's
ever
because the
rehearsed.
entire show is scripted, and we're not making any of it up. We've given this a lot of thought before we started recording, and we are trained professionals in the art of podcasting.
Man, if this is all scripted, we're either really good actors or really bad.
I'd like to believe that we are just the actors. Like, everyone will want our information. My agent is me.
We stumble over
Feel
our
free to contact me at
we stumble
our
over,
socials on Facebook.
right. We stumble over all our words on purpose.
I choose to believe that we're
Yeah,
adequate.
we're in character.
I mentioned real quick last time that it used to drive me crazy how Oceans kind of sometimes leaves out words or stumbles over his, and then creating this podcast, I realize I do it so much worse than he does. So,
It's true.
So that was resolved for me in that way.
I didn't even know I did it
What's
till
the
you
old
said it.
saying that we comment on the things that we struggle with the most?
Oh, it's true. Yeah. Dang it.
We're most attuned to the things we struggle with.
That scares me, and also I already know it's true.
Whoa, what'd you do to the thing? Whoa, what is this?
Running out of time?
I don't
We've
know, but we
removed the
now
40
have
minute-
unlimited minutes.
Is it a
friends.
time thing? Oh, that's weird.
I didn't even know that it was a timed thing, but apparently it's not a timed
It's not
thing.
anymore. We now have unlimited minutes.
Unlimited
We're
power.
amazing.
Unlimited power.
So guys, could I tell a story that you're familiar with, but the listeners aren't familiar with?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Should we talk about the name and all that?
Yeah,
That's the story I'm talking
Okay,
about.
yes,
I'm on
go for it.
I'm on it this time.
Go for it.
I've got organized thoughts. I've got synapses and things just tingling in my mind.
Mine are more unorganized than it was when we didn't know what we were talking about. 'Cause now I'm trying to remember what all we brought up. Which were all the things I
So-
wanted to bring up anyway.
Oh, well. So the first 5 episodes we called ourselves 3 Ps in a podcast.
First
Which
four.
Four.
I came up with. First 4. Yeah, this is 5. My bad. But I thought it was an incredibly clever name,
It was cute.
and there's 5 podcasts out there that thought exactly the same. And it was pretty cute. It's a little too cute for us.
There's like 3 that
But,
have exactly that same name, and then like 2 others that have a variation of the same name.
Yeah, that's like how Fun, the band, used to be just FUN, and then they got sued from another band that was named Fun, so they were FUN with an exclamation point.
Right.
Wasn't it a period?
It was a period.
Oh, period. Whatever.
They got sued
They
by a band with
punctuated
an
after their
exclamation
name.
point too, and they were like, "Man, how do we win?"
There's no winning. But Oceans, Nate, and I all used to do a radio show together that was Oceans' show Axe to the Max, which the intro to that was actually lost in the static by After the Burial that we saw.
Yeah.
The show we talked about in the
So
first episode.
killer.
So good.
And Oceans took it seriously, and Nate and I are idiots that came to jazz up the situation. And we used to combine names of bands, and one of the names that we put together was Beartooth and Attack Attack. I thought Caleb Shomo was going to create a project that was like Attack Attack, but he's also in Beartooth, and so we were like, it's called Bear Attack, and that's kind of the one that stuck, and now we are Bear Attack Podcast.
It isn't the only one, though.
No, the other one was As I Lay Lions, which was
the only name we came up.
As I Lay Dying.
As I Lay Dying and As Lions, which is Bruce Dickinson's son's band.
Yeah, we had a lot.
That guy, he does things.
We would spend a lot of time coming up with band merge names. But As I Lay Lions is probably my favorite, outside of Bear Attack, obviously.
Of course. Bear Attack's the greatest. It also
Yes.
works because we had the bear nicknames coming in, except for Nate, of course.
Yep, I got dubbed Blitz to fit in with the podcast. Kind of. They kind
we
of
brought him in.
happened at the same time, sort of with each other, but also a little bit independently. Because I think you were calling me Blitz on the way down here before we actually started making the podcast. On the way down to California, that is, not down here. I'm up here.
Yeah. I came up with it before we went to the Kill Switch show.
Right. Yep.
Just good timing, it all worked out.
Post episode launch reaction, episode 1 went gangbusters and did way better than I thought it ever would. And every episode since then has been about right where I thought we would get. They've not been great. Or it's not big. I mean, it's fine. Thanks to the 13 people who have listened. Guys, we have listeners in
Thanks, guys.
South Africa, the UK, and somewhere else. Let me pull that up real quick and see if I can figure out.
How weird is that?
Man.
Shout out to Anchor.fm. They are amazing. They distribute our podcast. We got on Spotify right away, like literally the day after I applied. I thought they would be the hard one to get onto.
Luck.
Funny that you bring up Spotify. We'll get to that in a minute.
Getting lucky. Oh, the Spotify thing. I don't know what it is, but he's said it 3 times now, and I'm teaming in his vision. Oh, talking about the first episode. So I think I brought up in the show before that I'm getting married soon.
Yes.
And my fiance's brother-in-law is he's a big Bigfoot fan, and he listened to our first episode.
Yes.
And he's all about us. So
yes.
What up, Tanner?
Back to
We should
Bigfoot.
make shirts.
I'm designing.
Back to Bigfoot.
I'm designing something at the moment. I don't know if
Sweet.
we'll keep it. Did you see it, Oceans? I put it in Snapchat.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
Oceans, how was vacation?
Oh yeah,
No, vacation was good. Glad that you brought that up. It segues into the sort of kind of part of this topic about how we had the whole drinking bet in May. I realized that I was lightweight before, but now that I stopped drinking for a month, I can have like one shot and like start to feel it in my head, and I'm like, I'm so mad at you guys.
Built-in portion control.
No. Don't be mad at us. We're saving you money. It now takes you less money to have a good time drinking. You are welcome.
No, that's what Miguel's for. He drinks a couple drinks and then he buys for everybody. But
Oh, so guys, our third country. So United States is our biggest, obviously. We have one listener in South Africa, one in the United Kingdom, and one in Belgium.
Ooh, Belgium.
Where they make the
interesting.
waffles.
South Africa. That's where they that's basically like sharks and black mambas, I think.
And Shinedown. Or is it Cedar?
What?
Cedar.
Cedars from
And
South
Ninja
Africa.
and Yolandi.
Ninja and
They're from
Yolandi.
South Africa.
If you haven't seen Chappie, and you'll like weird bands like Die Antwoord and Sony product placement.
Whatever Die Antwoord's song is at the end and the ending credits of Chappie, I really dig it.
It's probably I Think You Freaky or Ugly Boy.
I don't know. It has something to do with a butterfly.
Oh, it's their version of that weird Japanese butterfly song. It's like
I didn't know it was a cover.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure it's a cover.
Well, I don't want them to end up like Alien Ant Farm, where their biggest hit is a
Smooth
cover
Criminal.
song. But
Hey, it's a good cover though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they have a couple albums that they really worked hard on, and nobody even knows anything about them. I don't even know any songs off of them. I just know Smooth Criminal, their cover.
So, back to Bigfoot. This is my topic for the night. It's just the podcast, and thanks everyone for listening. We're on socials now. You can get a hold of us at bearattackpodcast@gmail.com if you're old school. Polar Bear, where did they go if they're new school?
On Facebook, we are Bear Attack Show. And on Twitter, I'll get back to you because our Twitter account has been suspended because I was inactive for so long and they think we're a bot.
Oh no!
Boo, suck. Boo.
Boo hiss.
So I'll go like us on Facebook, and I will put a link to our Twitter on our Facebook. It's going to be social mediaception.
Our Facebook's actually done really well.
You think so?
I think so.
Thanks.
It's done.
Thanks, guys.
It's done 3 times as well as any of my solo projects have done.
True that.
I have the same problem.
Yeah, I was like really surprised how many people were like into it. So yeah, hey guys, you know how you all listened to episode 1 and shared it and all that? Episode 1 was garbage. Go listen to episode 4 and share that one. So thank you for supporting us, and also do better. No, I'm just kidding.
Now, Nate, don't be bitter.
Well, no, I can't be bitter because episode 1 did so much better than I thought it would, and all the other episodes have done exactly what I thought they would. But it's also anticlimactic after like blowing up initially. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But also,
Yeah, our graph is a weird bump and then a table at the bottom.
oh, I have our graph. I'm looking at it right now. It's just spikes.
Oh,
There's the initial
Spikes.
spike.
man,
The initial spike is 3 times as large as the other ones, but all the other ones are the same size.
So
Like-
I was kidding. I didn't know we actually had a graph.
People listen on the day it launches, and then they don't listen again for like 2 weeks until another episode comes out.
I mean, that's kind of the idea, but
That is, yeah, it's fair.
okay. Question for you: spikes, metal or not metal?
Metal.
Obviously metal.
I feel like we need a not metal. I'm looking around my room trying to figure bounce dryer sheets, metal or not metal?
Metal. It keeps my band tees nice and static free.
I'm gonna say toxic. Therefore, it is metal. My grandma accidentally baked cookies and put them in one of her bounce containers once, and we all thought we were gonna die.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
We're like,
Oh my God.
we're like, this tastes like bounce. What the heck?
Why does that tickle me so? I'm going to say
Poor Grandma
not metal.
Oceans.
They smell like babies and domesticated life, which I'm all about, but also just not metal.
Can I tell you guys a story about my rancid cookie experience?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mom and I were cleaning out their old camper, and we were going through the food bins, and we came across an old box of Lorna Doones, which, for anybody that doesn't know, a Lorna Doone is a lemon cookie. And me and my mom were like, these don't go bad. They're like Twinkies, right? They're fine. And so we both ate one, no little bite off the front, just all the way in the mouth, chewed it up, swallowed. We had food poisoning for 3 days afterwards.
Oh my god.
Nice.
And I will not eat a Lorna Doone to this day.
Nice. I recently just ate something with a bunch of I was pretty sure it had mold on it, but I also really wanted to eat it, so I Googled, will mold kill you? And it was fine. I was actually surprised by the answers on the internet. They were pretty much you'll probably be fine.
It depends on the mold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because isn't penicillin a mold? And that's
Yes, it is.
the bacteria killer, isn't it?
Yes. I just want to let our listeners know, especially if you're a younger listener, I'm not saying you should eat mold and it's just fine to eat bad food. Spoiled food.
Don't eat mold, kids.
Polar bear.
He's
just
also not
got
saying
sick.
trust the internet completely.
We are
Yeah.
not doctors.
Yeah. Maybe don't listen to me. Who's next? Are we gonna have Polar Bear go in the middle again, or are we gonna switch it up?
He's always in the middle. But a quick disclaimer: if you can hear me chewing, that's because I'm eating. Because I work today and it's dinner time.
Yes.
I feel like everyone should know that I can't name the restaurant, but he has French fries, chicken fingers, a very specific bread, and sort of an orangish secret sauce.
Wait, why aren't you naming the
And
restaurant?
it's making me. What's up?
Why are you keeping the restaurant's name anonymous?
I don't know. Can we say people and restaurants and things?
I mean,
'Cause
we plugged in
I
and
don't know.
out for like 4 episodes.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're right.
There's no copyright. You know,
I just want-
actually, don't say it.
Okay.
If you're listening, go guess we'll make a game out of it. Go guess on Facebook. Hit us up. Slide into our DMs. Tell us what restaurant you think
yeah.
Panda Bear is eating there.
And let us know what Panda Bear is eating.
So again, he's got crinkly fries, like a kind of chicken tender, a specific bread, and a beverage in a red cup.
Use the hashtag #WhatDoPandas eat, and we'll hit you up with a comment.
Ooh, maybe even a gift card.
I still can't believe.
Not there won't be a gift card.
Oh.
Maybe in the
We're
future.
broke.
I was gonna enter it.
Maybe in the future.
I was about to text into. Yeah, if we ever have an income that can do giveaways, we'll do giveaways. But
if you go,
we need your help.
If you go onto our host website, anchor.fm, you can donate to the show. If that interests you.
Gasp.
And maybe we'll
go
do a gift card for #WhatDoPandasEat.
We're broke
Yeah, go do
post-college
that,
students.
friends.
Come on, pay up.
Hey, easy, buddy. We're doing this for the love of the podcasting.
We're
Yeah,
doing
that
it
doesn't
for
mean
the
we can't
art.
get a little greedy.
Just a little.
But yes, we're also really poor.
If you don't
Extremely.
If you don't want to give us money but want to help us out, sharing the podcast is everyone can do that. And maybe share it with some of your lonely friends, and they can come be our friends. We'll take care of them.
Yeah, we're really broke. Polar Bear is preparing for his wedding. I just had to put a battery in my car, and Nate just, I don't know. What's your problem? He buys too much Monster, I think is what it is.
I spent...
No, Nate's out of work because it's summertime.
Well, I am out of work because it's summertime. I'm finding things to bring a little income. But I'm trying to live my dreams of making it in the audio world. So,
I mean, this can't hurt.
No. This is great, but it's also not like instant income. But anyway, enough about me. What's your topic, Polar Bear?
Enough about him. I had it. I held it in my hand. I was formulating it earlier, and now you've asked me, and I'm on the spot. And
that's how I was in the last
blank.
episode.
Goodness gracious! I wonder if I keep talking and keep just like taking up the dead air, if I'll eventually come up with it again.
I remembered mine last time. I thought that all three of us did a really good job last episode. Like, I don't know. I've listened to episode 4 so many times, because just uploading and everything, you kind of have to listen to it a few times. I'm sure Panda hears it like a billion times.
Oh, your guys' voices are so annoying by the end of the editing. I'm just like, oh my god.
But he still texts us every day.
Texting
does.
is different than having to listen to you, though.
That's true.
Wait. I have a question.
Okay.
When we answer your text messages, do you hear them in our voices now?
No, it's not that bad yet.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I actually read everyone's texts in a voice that's like really similar to my own, but kind of different. But I don't like put their voices to it.
You know what's funny that you mentioned that, though, because our buddy Mr. Coon, shout out to Ben, every time that we're in that group chat with him, I just picture him wearing the corpse paint and talking to us in like a Danny Filth voice. I'm just.
I would love it if he would do that. You just like come out in bed sitting in the living room and like corpse face. Like, what are you, like with spikes on his jacket or something? What are you doing? Like, oh.
What is this, Metalocalypse? Come on.
Fix my butts.
Oh my gosh.
That's like my death metal voice. I'm not very good at it. Ben doesn't have like a hoarse rap.
That's pretty brutal.
Polar Bear, did you figure it out yet? Or can I put in another disclaimer?
Yeah. I remembered.
Yeah.
I remembered. What were you saying, Ocean?
Oh,
Your disclaimer?
I'm in my house and my roommates are here, so you might hear them in the background a little bit. Just try to ignore it a little.
Oh, are they the ones laughing?
Yes.
No, this is the voice of Sam.
Sounds like they're having a hoop.
They're watching like America's Got Talent or something of that nature.
Good family fun.
Ooh.
But anyway,
Okay.
Polar Bear, what you got?
Okay. What I want to talk about, I really wanted to express my some frustrations here, and it's going to get a little meta.
Boy.
This is going to be bad because I'm doing the same thing.
So, I have a
This is gonna be bad because I
Ooh.
did the same thing. Maybe.
Oceans. We're on a wavelength most of the time. So, I have a bad habit. I don't know if it's a bad habit, but I have a habit that whenever I'm hanging out with anybody, like every interaction you're guaranteed to get at least one inside joke out of it,
Yes.
and I just can't help myself.
Okay.
And I have so many with my fiance, and I really want to just like drop them in normal people's conversations, like everyone else, but nobody will think it's funny. So I have all these like jokes and like references, and I'm just like, what do I do with this?
I still use them around people who don't know them, and well, if you think about it, just as Americans in general, we speak in a lot of idioms. It's like I had a.
You're the idiom.
Excuse me. I had a friend who was a German exchange student, and trying to like explain jokes and stuff to him. Like we were watching a stand-up DVD, and he like didn't get most of the jokes just because he didn't get the idioms and phrases we use. It was like really hard to like. We didn't realize how much we used it until we tried to stop, and it was like, I don't know. It was like kind of trying to like go down a log ride without a raft, if you know what I mean. I tried to come up with an idiom right on the spot. It didn't work. But,
Well, no, I know how it is.
Up a creek without a paddle.
yeah.
You've met my mom and my family. We have all the weird things. Like, we don't finish sentences, and we use words that shouldn't be in places.
I don't know if I've noticed that. I guess maybe. And I've just kind of just accepted it.
I didn't catch that at all.
The one that
actually.
my mom does all the time is used to could.
Used to could.
Used to could.
What's that mean?
Yeah. I come from a family of used to coulda.
I love your more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. That's a polar bear one.
Yeah, I have a lot of weird sayings that I just can't think of any off the top of my
One
head
that
right
we
now.
also use is like when we go to a crowded place, we say everybody and their dog is here.
Everyone and their dog is here. That's a good one.
My family says mayonnaise a lot of people here.
Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise, a lot of people here.
Oh.
But yeah, I drop inside jokes in like conversations with people who aren't on the inside all the time, and I just do it for my own enjoyment, and also because that's kind of just how I talk now. But like, you know how I say yeast a lot? That's from you, polar bear.
Yes?
That's a polar bear one. Yeast.
Oh my god.
And the like, if I ever do the lisp, like you like something you see. That's like
Oh, that's Juby's.
that's
for
from
sure.
our friend Juby's. Shout out to Juby's. I don't think he listens.
He should.
He should.
I'm gonna share it directly to him.
I think that we need to talk about theological things more. Though we've dipped our toe in.
We have. I'm trying to avoid it because I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Well, we need those are episodes we need to think out.
Yep. There are no dumb answers.
There are no
Until you
dumb
make one.
there are no dumb questions. There are definitely dumb answers.
I don't know.
So your whole thing is talking about
man.
idioms. That's your topic, and you're mad about it because you have inside jokes with the fiance that you can't share with anybody else.
Yes. So we watched. So she got me into a show. It's really bad high school. Like it's Degrassi, but it's based off of the Archie comics. It's Riverdale. It's on Netflix.
Wait, is
And,
it actually based off the Archie comics?
Well, the characters are, but like the plot is high school murder mystery meets crazy conspiracy theory.
Did they actually like call them
It's
like
nuts.
Archie and Jughead and?
Yeah, the main characters are Archie, Archie Rogers,
Oh.
Jughead Jones, Veronica Lodge, and Betty Cooper.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Oh no, like it's legit. Like Jughead has his whoopee hat and everything.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Which, fun fact about Jughead's hat, it's actually based on a fashion trend from the 20s and 30s.
Doesn't surprise me.
In case anybody's wondering about that.
I actually was.
Yeah.
I was wondering what
You
was
actually
up
was
with
what?
that hat.
Oh yeah, so the popular hats of the day, and everybody wore a hat, was the felt fedora, which is like the fancy man's hat.
Mm-hmm.
And factory workers wore a beanie cap because it kept all the crap off their head in the factories, but it also didn't impede their line of sight.
Right.
But there was felt hats aplenty back in the day, so they would take their felt hats and like cut the jagged pieces out of it, so it'd be like zigzaggy, and fold it up, and then they have their beanie cap, but they also have a fancier fedora hat.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and then like the kids took it over because the youths create the culture and everything, and they started putting pins and buttons and everything all over it as a like self-expression, and then by the 40s it was like gone, and now nobody knows what a whoopee cap is, except me.
That's funny. I have no idea what you're talking about.
What a great history lesson.
He doesn't have a myth or legend. He just put on some history in your face. Come on now.
The hat is the legend.
I can't help it. No, okay, but the thing that annoys me that ties to Riverdale is Betty wins prom queen at one point in the show, and the gal that announces it, she walks up and she goes, "And the new prom queen is Betty Cooper." And I can't get over how she says it. And any chance now I get, like, Amy will call me on the phone, and I'll say hello, and she'll say hi, and I'll say, "Is this Betty Cooper?"
I was wondering where you were going with that.
And just any chance I get, I have to just be like, "Oh, Betty Cooper, how are ya? Fancy seeing ya here."
Well, now
And
now our entire listening audience knows about Betty Cooper. We're all on the inside.
You know, it's funny that you bring up the whole Degrassi thing, because I feel like that's a guilty pleasure show, and I've had a funny fair share of mine. Like, when I was in high school, I watched, like, all the ABC Family crap.
man, I gotta tell you, I didn't watch a lot of Degrassi, but I watched one episode when I was like a younger man, but pre Drake in Degrassi. For all those hip youngins out there that know the history of Drake, and it was like the emo kids and like suicide and edgy stuff, and I was like, wow, that really speaks to my generation. And then I caught an episode like while we were in college or something, and they were like selling pills in the bathroom while they were smoking cigarettes, and like their rich parents didn't buy them the car that was the color they wanted, and I was like,
Oh,
it has taken a turn, this Degrassi. We have gone from death to cars. Ooh.
It's like our podcast.
Ooh. In what way?
We talk about one thing, and then we jump to another thing that is completely unrelated.
Oh, I gotcha.
Well, I like to think that we run a variety show here, but I mean,
I mean, we're definitely
So not
colorful.
Yeah, I just need.
Oh.
I needed to share with people the Betty Cooper joke because I think it's so funny.
It was really
Betty
funny.
Cooper.
It's really funny hearing you do the voice for sure.
He's really good at it. It's weird.
It is good. Like
No, I've got my I've got three voices I do. They're like my people. I got one guy from Chicago, and he's a Bears fan. You know how they do up there, and then I got the other gal, and I don't know where she's from, but man, does she just love Betty Cooper?
Sounds like some Wisconsin something or another.
Yeah.
Probably Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Plump, sweet older lady.
Minnesota.
I just pick Mrs. Claus.
And then you got your Texas oil tycoon, and he talks a little bit of something in his jowl, and he got a couple of hound dogs out on the back porch. And,
That's not. I mean, I picture your dad sounded like that.
that is not what my dad
No.
sounds like, but thank you for thinking
because you
he's
talked
such a
about the whole
gentleman.
Bigfoot story and him living in Tennessee, and I was just there, and they legit talk like that.
Oh yeah, I've got his best friend, my Uncle Tim. You gotta either you gotta stare him down, make eye contact, and read his lips to get what he's saying, or just you gotta immerse yourself in the corner because he'll be like, you just take the hand over there and you take a left on that hill and you go over there and you just gotta mash on it because that hill's gonna be there when you get around that corner and that road's still gonna be there. You just head on
I feel
forward.
like this should have been in episode 4.
You see what I'm saying?
When we were talking about redneck culture, I feel like that should have been there.
I like to do my redneck voice, but I have a hard time keeping it without using a whole bunch of profanity, and Mama don't like it much.
You gotta be a good old southern boy, eh?
Yeah, I've got to be a good old southern boy, not one of those country effers.
You sound like Hank Hill. It's hilarious.
Well, you see, you just gotta talk
I sound like what?
you gotta get a little deeper and you gotta put something in your lip and you just gotta hold the jaw back a little bit and just
Ew.
roll out all them vowels.
No, you don't know Jack. You don't know Jack Daniels.
Hey, tell me what I don't know about Lynchburg, Tennessee, boy.
I did not go there.
No,
I did not go there.
My redneck persona doesn't. I mean, he might be dead wrong, but he'd never admit it.
Oh, I got a story about rednecks real quick.
About all the folks down in
No, I
Lynchburg,
didn't go
Tennessee.
to Lynchburg, but I did go to a distillery. I went to Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, I believe it is. That's where Wild Turkey is.
It's a lot better than Lynchburg, but it's also
Yeah, and we got the best tour guide on the planet. If you ever go there, you gotta have Bubba.
gotta have Bubba.
I'm sorry.
You heard it here
I'm
first,
sorry. Did you
folks.
just say your tour guide's name was
His
Bubba?
legit name is Bubba, but
That's a good old boy.
He's like probably 70s, 80s, but he's like a vet. But oh man, he knows his stuff, man. Like, oh, it was cool.
What are you saying? He's been around the cellar a time
I think
or
he's
two?
fallen into the barrels a couple times. Or like circus, you ride on the barrel and that kind of thing. I think he's done that.
He was a rodeo clown.
No.
Hey,
It's a dangerous
shout out
job.
to rodeo clowns. They are brave,
Tightrope
brave
walkers,
men.
They
come
are.
on. Ring of Fire, come on now.
Can you imagine the rodeo clown is like? I mean, the bull riders and all that. Yeah, that's pretty hardcore. But being the guy who's like, "Hey, here I am. See if you can hit me before I jump into this barrel." And they usually do hit them. They're usually in the barrel, but they still get knocked around.
Oh, I've seen some clowns take some hits, and they have no padding. They're in cut off jeans and a
Yeah.
long sleeve T-shirt.
They're just wearing good old clothes.
I have a story about a friend bull riding. If you guys want to hear it real quick.
You have a
Go
friend
for
that.
it.
Wow.
You can
okay.
say no.
Go ahead. I'm intrigued.
All right. So I have a buddy. I believe he's retired from bull riding now, but for a while there he was a semi-professional. He traveled the circuit to do bull riding. And one day he came over to hang out, and we said, "Take a seat," and he said, "Oh, I'll just stand." And we said, "What's wrong, buddy? You're not going to be here for long?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm here to hang out, but I'll just stand." And it turns out that he was riding in a competition, doing real solid, getting in a full 8-second run every single time. And one time he lost his grip. He went up, he came off the bull, he landed on the ground with his posterior in the air, and the bull saw red, came charging after him, and he got a horn right up Main Street.
Oh my goodness! No! Ow.
That brings a whole new meaning to bring the bull by the horns.
Oh, went straight through the jeans, picked him up, and tossed him by
He
it.
did have the bull by the horns. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah. He had a special little pillow and everything that he had to drive his truck with. But I think that was the injury that ended his bull riding career. So
I suppose it would. I hope it would.
I won't name him because he gets embarrassed. But if he hears this, you're not forgotten, buddy. We appreciate you.
Is it weird that story made me think of the band Cattle Decapitation?
Oh, goodness gracious! I love that name.
A little bit. Have you guys listened to Cattle Decapitation since we've spoke of them?
Oh, they're absolutely horrid.
Definitely did not.
They're pretty good. They're actually really fun to watch. I watched them play in the studio, and it was good with Mr. Coon. Shout out again to Mr. Coon.
Did you see that AVR is using lasers now?
I saw that. Oh, my body is ready.
Are you going?
I'm going VIP.
Who are you going with?
You guys?
I can't go. That's the same day I'm gonna be in California at a different show.
Well, Mr. Coon wants to go. Polar Bear, are you still in?
Oh, definitely.
I'm so jelly.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm gonna be in California at a different concert with my mom and my brother.
Oh, are you going to see Styx again?
Yeah.
Is it Styx?
Same day.
You just keep sailing away there. I actually love how many times you've seen Styx.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be at least 20.
It's great. I fully support it.
They need to send you a letter saying Domo Arigato, Mr.
Don't
Roboto,
even. That is the worst song ever. Oh my god.
It is pretty. It's.
Oh, that's officially. That's officially your new ringtone.
No.
Yeah, it was funny. I think it was actually on our Killswitch trip. Panda Bear was all he brought up Styx and he got defensive before I could even say anything because I don't like classical music or the classic rock very much, but Styx is one of my.
He doesn't like his electric guitar, violins.
Yeah, but
classical music.
Right, exactly. No, the classic rock. I'm not a huge fan of, but Styx is one of the few bands that I'm yeah, they're great. I love their stuff, but he said something about Styx and they was and don't judge them off that one song. It's their worst song. It's probably your favorite song, huh? And I was Mr. Roboto? He's yeah, I freaking knew it. And I was no, dude, I hate that song. I actually really like Styx, though.
You know why I hate it? Not that
it sucks?
It doesn't suck. It's just catchy and super annoying.
Sorry to any of our listeners who like that song. I actually do hate it.
Not as much as Ghost.
I hate it more than Ghost.
I like that song. I think it's fun.
I would rather listen to Ghost than
Nate.
Mr. Roboto, yeah.
Nate, throwing out big guns.
Dude, I've got some positive things to say about Ghost, not because I've changed my mind on them really a whole lot, but you know what, I'll keep it quick. I'll throw it out there cuz we probably should get back to Bigfoot eventually, but Danny Filth of Cradle of Filth, good black metal band, though a lot of people would call them a sellout, and those people would be wrong. Danny Filth loves Ghost, and Winston McCall, one of our favorite vocalists.
Don't say it.
They are his number 2 favorite band of all time.
No!
I wish you guys could see
that was
Ocean's
a perfectly
face.
timed laugh in the background there.
Yeah, it was perfectly timed.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, man. No, I saw that, and I was oh, man. I feel kind of bad for hating on them now, because all these, people love them. People who make the music we actually love them.
You know what's funny? I think that my parents would be Ghost more than the bands we listen to because you can understand what they're saying.
Oh yeah. For sure, I guess. I mean, I can understand, like, screaming just takes a little getting used to, but I don't see it any different. I actually can sometimes understand it better than clean singing. Because they're just talking more. They're talking more than they are, like, singing. There's, like, some weird
Well,
inflections sometimes.
it's like I saw my buddy Eddie a couple weeks ago, and he was, like, looking through my iPod, and he's like, dude, when you come to my house next time, I want to download all this Volbeat. And I'm like, I get that.
My favorite Danish band.
He loves Sweden.
You got it right. Danish, not Swedish.
Yep. I think that Sabaton's Swedish, though. I don't know why I think of Sabaton and Volbeat at the same time. But
I mean, they both have clean singing and similar music, I guess.
Back to Ghost, you know what I found out about them? I was looking at their Spotify page, just, staying current. And they never...
Staying with the kids,
They never once mentioned in their biography, which was posted by them, they never once call themselves a metal band. They call themselves a rock band.
I would agree with that.
I wonder if the misbranding doesn't actually come from the band itself.
No, it doesn't. I'm sure it doesn't.
So maybe... Because if they don't if they don't claim to be a metal band, then most of my criticism against them is kind of invalid.
I think they fall into that stigma where, their subject matter makes them metal.
Because it looks very much like black
It's the death
metal.
mask, too. Yeah. Their look and their lyrics might be really metal, but their sound is definitely more Maroon 5.
No, they can't be that bad. Come on, did you see that Super Bowl halftime show?
I don't like Maroon 5, but it's for a different reason than their music. I like their music, I just don't like them.
Listeners, go check out a very fun band called The Kids We Used to Know, and listen to their Maroon 5 cover, because it is banging, and my friend was the lead singer of that band, but now he is a youth pastor in California. But yeah, you just go watch the music video, it's good. It's a fun time.
He found a youth group, huh?
He found a youth group, yeah. He actually moved back to be with an ailing family member, unfortunately. But
that sucks.
Yeah, the Kids We Used to Know.
Man, I gotta go catch up with Zach.
Yeah. Zach's a solid dude. Shout out to Zach.
We got a lot of people in this one to shout out and say thank you to. And
speaking of,
talk about.
I'm going to apologize to Polar Bear because they scheduled because they're doing 2 separate receptions for their wedding, one in Washington and one in Arizona. They scheduled it for a day that I'm going to be in Denver as a best man at my other friend's wedding. So apologies, bud.
So it's so tragic. You're missing both of them through not really any fault of your own both times.
Oceans, it's fine. You're welcome anytime.
I'm sure I'll crash your trailer. he legit bought a big trailer.
Well, boys, not to be a time Nazi, but we're coming up on 45 minutes here.
All right, so do we want to go into my rant that should take up the rest of the time almost?
I want to.
I think we should because
I'm excited.
I'm done.
We got way off track there. We went from idioms to Ghost.
All right, so my topic is the huge corporation that is Apple.
Oh boy!
But a specific part of it, I'm really... Whoa! He turned his video back on. What the heck?
I wanted you to see me take my shirt off. And it's not gonna happen because I'm sitting on it. It's really hot, so I live in a cooler climate, but we don't have air conditioning.
Dude. Oh, speaking of that, actually, we just got our AC fixed today. It's been out for a month, and it just hit 109 today.
Oh my gosh, you can't live where you live without AC.
It was 91 degrees in the house when I got home.
Oopsies. I'll be right back. I'm losing my headphones. Sorry. And now, no words from the sponsors we don't have. Though I'm pretty cheap, so if you did want to sponsor us, there's at least a 1 in 3 chance that we'll say yes to whatever you're selling. Now back to the show.
Okay, so back to Bigfoot. I'm gonna rant a little bit about Apple, and one program.
Oh, that's right.
And one program in particular that is ending, that I'm rather ticked off about. So I'm old school. I still own CDs and stuff. They can attest to that. I have like 10 of them on my car.
Heck yeah.
But I'm also
I
old
love
school in the
CDs.
sense.
CDs
I'm also
all
old
day.
school in the sense that I don't do any of the streaming stuff except for listening to Bear Attack on like Spotify and whatever, which goes back to the point of Spotify. But I use iTunes for like buying all my music and stuff because I like to waste money and whatever.
I actually really like iTunes.
Okay, but did you guys see that they're ending it and like splitting off into like music, the TV and whatever, the streaming and whatever? They're like splitting them up. So iTunes is ending. They're gonna like end the program. So I'm like, okay, so what happens to all the music that I already bought? Does it like transfer to the new music?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I couldn't find anything.
I bought that with the idea of owning it forever.
Right. I'm just like, okay, so do I lose my music? Can I not buy new music? If I buy a CD, can I not burn it onto my computer and then transfer it to my iPod? Like, I don't know how it's gonna work now, and it's kind of like freaking me out because I'm into music and I like to listen to new things.
There's no way they can just take your music away. Like, if you paid for it, there's no way they can just...
Yeah.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, is it going to transfer over, or am I, like, since I have it already, I'm going to obviously still have access to it, but am I going to be able to access the new stuff that comes out further down the road? Like, there's a new Skillet album, there's a new Kill Switch Engage song that's coming out. Like, am I going to have access to those, or am I going to have to, like, pay for Spotify or whatever now? I don't even know, and I don't really want to do that anyway.
Hey, I gotta say, Spotify as a music streaming service... They're doing a bang up job.
Yeah, no,
for me.
nothing against them.
it.
It's just I'm not into the whole streaming thing. I like to have it like in my hand. I like to be able to buy it myself, like all that stuff.
Man, I am into the whole streaming thing, but I still want to be able to use iTunes for like my file, like because iTunes is just a database, but it's also a player. So I imagine that all our files will still be there, but how are we going to listen to them?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like they better have a good plan for that, or a lot of people are going to be pissed off about it.
I promise they don't have a good plan for it.
Okay, so there's three kinds of people. There's people who pray for Jesus to come back, people who pray for Ronald Reagan to come back, and people who pray for Steve Jobs to come back. And I am of the latter.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Tim Cook doesn't know what he's doing. He's a freaking moron, and I hate him. I'm sure he's a wonderful person. What's that Billie Eilish guy? Is that his name or like no? That's the girl who sings. What's the?
Yeah, Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is a singer.
Yeah.
I accidentally called her Billie Eyelash to my fiance, and I was well corrected.
Dude, she's creepy. She scares me. She actually...
Probably, yeah.
Burzum is one of her influences, which is so funny because she doesn't do anything that's related to metal, but, like, there's definitely a black metal vibe to her.
Yeah, she's definitely got that gothic feel.
Yeah. But, what's that Billy guy? He's one of the Eagleton characters in Parks and Rec, where he's like... It's like... Tim Cook is a moron and I hate him. I don't know. That sounded more like Tom Haverford. I can't really hear myself because my headphones are on, but they're all popping ear. There we go.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He's like the guy who like gets Andy to like do his niece's birthday. He's like, my niece's birthday has to be perfect because I love her. She's also a monster and I hate her.
Oh, the character's name is Craig.
Craig, yeah. Okay, so the guy who plays Craig is gay, and he goes and does like he just runs up to people and asks them questions. But when he finds someone who's like obviously of the LGBTQ community, he'll say something like really homophobic to them and run away. And for some reason, it's hilarious to me.
I don't know, but anyway, back to Bigfoot. I want to get your guys' take on this. Because obviously we've all had experience with iTunes and stuff. Maybe some like my brother doesn't use it anymore because he can't because his iPod broke. But like the newer generation, like that's younger than my brother, I think they haven't had the experience with it that we have.
Yeah, it's probably not going to affect them as much.
Unpopular opinion on that. And in the media world, I don't like Apple. Like at all. So I don't use iTunes. I either take all my CDs and put them into I have a external hard drive that all my music's backed up onto, and I just play it through my Windows player, or I use Spotify and I'll just get the albums I want and have them like queued up. I think Apple is, they're smart in the way they run their business, but they're also stupid because there's nowhere to grow unless you pay more money. And in Windows, I built a PC for roughly $1,000, and it's got like potential to grow for very minimal amounts of money in comparison.
Well, I think you bring up a good point with that, and I think that's part of the reason they're like ending iTunes is they're trying to figure out ways to improve themselves and grow, but I don't know that they have a solid plan to replace it, and or
they don't.
Yeah, I don't think they do, which is the part that like I'm like, okay, so what happens to us that actually use it?
If Steve Jobs was at the helm, they probably would. Well, because Steve Jobs would do things that freaked everyone out, but there was always like a plan. Whereas like it kind of feels like Tim Cook just kind of goes, get rid of the USB ports and the 1/8-inch jacks. They don't need those. And it's like,
well, we kind of do.
Still use that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything else uses it. Why shouldn't this?
Here's the thing with what Polar Bear is saying, though, is I think that when you get an Apple product, it doesn't need to grow. It's just going to be solid for the time you have it. Except for their, phones.
I mean, that I guess that's true. People that, if you buy a MacBook Pro, if you're going to be, editing video, I guess you knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
But I have a Mac Pro, and that's what I use for my audio editing because audio hardware, fun fact in case any of you don't know this, all audio hardware from any reputable brand will just plug into a Mac or a MacBook and it'll just work. Like you don't have to download drivers or anything, it just works. On Windows, you have to plug it in, go find the drivers, and sometimes if you find the wrong driver, you might fry your hardware and never be able to use it again.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I use Mac for my audio editing.
Right.
But as far as video editing, I just feel like it's too big of an investment that when I need more power, I have to go buy a whole new rig.
Right. Well,
I don't know. Oh, sorry.
That's the thing that sucks is I have 2 external hard drives that I have to store stuff on because the storage capacity sucks because I have a MacBook Air and it doesn't have any storage whatsoever.
Dude, prices on hard drives is coming down, and I just bought a terabyte solid state drive for $150. Put it in my MacBook Pro. It's internal. I backed it up, did the time machine, all that. And my computer's faster than it was when I got it brand new.
Nice.
So,
here is one thing to say about Macs, though. They really do just work as long as you manage your system well and don't overload the memory.
yes.
You turn it on and it just works.
It just works, yeah.
That's definitely a plus.
See, I'm not a huge nerd, so I don't like having to think about anything too much. And so Apple's interface and just their hardware, it all just works very nicely for me in that way. And I grew up using Windows, and I have a Dell. Gosh, Dells are horrible computers. Their hard drives just crash. If you own a Dell, you just know that you're budgeting time for when your hard drive crashes because you know it's inevitable.
Oh, for sure. Dell is they don't make a superior product.
No. What's funny is I've noticed that the Toshibas and Acers of the world, their hardware is garbage. It the computers fall apart within a month, but the software is solid. You can have viruses on the things out your ears and they'll just keep on running. Whereas Dell's the opposite. It's they make really nice hardware, but the software is and HP is the same way, man. I'm done with HP. I can't stand it anymore. I've had so many HP computers in my family, nice Pavilions, brand new ones and all that, and they just keep crapping out on us.
I feel like Apple is the Toyota of computers. Hear me out on this. Toyotas last forever, obviously. I think the only computer I've ever owned is this MacBook Pro, and the only issue I've ever had is I had to change the battery out, but that's because it's old.
I've never had to change the battery out. Mine's a 2012.
But yeah, I feel like those two are comparable in the sense that they last a long time and they're fairly reliable.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison. Whereas, like, you've got, like, your American cars or whatever, and, like, the other things where you can, like, really customize them and deck them out, and it's, like, easier to do maintenance on them, but you have to do maintenance on them.
Right, exactly.
If you don't want to do things Apple's way and you have an Apple, you're hosed.
I think that's why I don't like the Macs as much, is because I like to solve problems my way.
Right.
And Macs will tell me no. My PC doesn't tell me no. It just says, okay, see what happens.
Dude, shout out to Apple support. They are great. I've got nothing but good things to say about Apple support. Except for phones. Apple phones are a whole nother story, and I love my iPhone. Like, I've bought into the Apple's grand plan, like, through and through, except for I still use Spotify, but
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that, because the iPhone is the only thing that I don't have.
yeah, the iPhone's dirty. I feel dirty using it, but again, it's that interface. I just like it, and I like being able to AirDrop things to my MacBook.
Well, I wish I could use an Apple Watch, but I don't think it'll sync up with my Android, which sucks, but the Apple Watches are cool.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I hate Androids, the phones. I just can't stand. Like, honestly, phones are just glitchy in general. Like, phones are not. I don't know why phones don't work as well as computers for some reason.
I mean, I have a Galaxy, and I like it a lot, and I've had, like, 2 older versions of it, and I've never had issues.
Ugh, I hated my Galaxy back when I had one.
Yeah, I use a Galaxy Note 9, and I love it. It's my favorite.
Oh, you're one of them bricks.
Man.
Yeah, well, I use the pen a lot.
You're one of those people.
Like when Well, I'm not very good at explaining things with my words because I have a really interesting way of talking. If you haven't caught on to it, so it's easier if I can draw pictures and like point at things.
I wonder if it's because Polar Bear and I kind of had like both our fathers are pretty like hick people, so I feel like I've never had a problem trying to understand what you're saying, and like other people look at you like you're from another planet.
Yeah, I don't have that issue. My dad is like city boy trying to be redneck, and my mom is like from the hood, so
It's so true. It's so true.
So I only have one more thing to say about the iTunes issue in Mac and Apple, I guess. It's just to remember that when the clamshell MacBooks first came out, or the clamshell and then the iMacs when they all came out, they didn't sell very well. And the thing that made them sell really well was that they put them to where they came in different colors.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
So they might be getting rid of iTunes, but I'm sure that iTunes is going to come back in just like a different color.
Oh,
Interesting.
That's what I would
an
imagine is
interesting
going to
metaphor.
happen.
Anyway, I think we should wrap it up.
All right, I have one more thing to say. I feel like kids these days need to go get their favorite bands. They need to go buy their CDs, and if knowing kids these days, their favorite bands probably don't do this anymore, but my favorite bands have really nice CDs. I'm actually looking at a few of them, and like one of them's like a book, and you open it up and you got the lyric notes, and they're like glossy, and there's like really good pictures and artwork that goes with the album, and it's the experience, man, and that's like lost, and it makes me sad.
I could rant about that for an hour, but I'm going to keep it short. Bands that don't put their lyrics in their booklets, oh man, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're describing one of the draws of vinyl. It's the whole experience and that big old...
It's the artwork.
The big old cover that it comes in.
Yeah.
And that you flip it over, and there's like some of them you open them up, and they're legit like tomes of knowledge about the bands.
Yes. I burped while I said
dope.
yes. That was good.
Wait, yeah, that's funny. I bought my mom a vinyl last Christmas. She can't play it or anything, but I thought it was a cool thing.
Right, yeah. I've got 2 vinyls that I can't play, but like I love them because they're, I like looking at them. I mean, I can play them. I think the needle on my record player is broken.
I have the same problem as you, but now I don't even have my record player anymore because I'm downsizing and moving, and it was broken, so I just kind of let her go. I have no way to listen to my vinyl now, and that really bothers me.
Oh, no.
On that horrible disappointment, I think Polar Bear, you should give us an outro.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let me put that together. Well, thanks for taking this ride with us, because it started somewhere and it's ended somewhere else, and so it's definitely been a journey.
Shocker.
If you want to get a hold of us while we're not talking, you can find us on Facebook, like we were saying, at Bear Attack Show. go ahead and give us a like, and remember to guess what Panda Bear was eating for dinner
Hashtag
tonight.
what do pandas eat?
I'll write it down so I don't forget.
Hashtag what do
Hashtag
pandas
what do
eat?
pandas eat.
Oh, one thing about Facebook. Did you realize that you spelled at Bear Attack Show with like 3 T's?
No.
Well,
You
it
did.
has 3 T's and it hasn't seemed to slow us down any. So I say we leave it.
I
Alright,
think
so-
it puts an emphasis on bear attack.
Yes. Well, it's only like
Yeah.
the like at.
It's weird to really emphasize the consonant. It really is.
Yeah, it's only our it's only our like at Bear Attack. How would you attack show? But like the
I'll
actual
fix I'll fix
display name is just Bear Attack, just the normal 2 T's. So it's not
Yeah,
that noticeable.
but remember, it's Bear Attack Show. That's very important.
yeah,
to show.
just look up Bear Attack Show and you'll find it.
Yeah. So
Even if he fixes it.
this has been Bear Attack, not 3 P's in a podcast anymore. Remember that it's Bear Attack, and we'll see you later.
Bear Attack.